men say prison life was, do you see any of them raging against the people who tortured them? People found it ridiculous when they asked the gentleman, you got out on bond, and who was the first person you called? John Birch. But you said John Birch tortured you and beat you. Put a bag over your head. But you called John Birch. A lot of people couldn't understand that. They call it the Stockholm Syndrome. When people identify with the people who abuse them. They're conditioned to it. The system knows this. Men only get mad about their suffering when they feel inadequate, hopeless, and helpless, which produces a disabling effect. Death row is dying while waiting to be killed. The stress from life on death row, resulting from a traumatic system experience, producing an external harmful force, is called stressors. I'm going to let the psychoanalyst tell you about this, or maybe you want to research. Stressors produce fear when one encounters police cars, courthouses, judges, lawyers, anybody, anything that resembles the system, which can cause emotional tension, frustration, or anxiety. And if it's prolonged, it can cause severe damage, emotional and physical illness, high blood pressure, impotence. And if one body cannot get the proper medical help, he will suffer a possible heart attack and death. Because the anger and pain produces an adrenaline that poisons your system. You can research that. My co-defendant just had a triple bypass. That buildup produces an adrenaline which poisons your system. And it can kill you. Not only death row exonerates, but an astronomical number of ex-offenders who have spent time in state and federal prisons are held in psychological restraints, making it difficult to overcome stress-related problems inherited from a subhuman environment of cruel and unusual punishment. Some turn to drugs and alcohol. Others over-the-counter medication. Others turn to religion. As for me, I turned to religion. God turned the dungeon of hell into a prayer palace for me. Even though I suffered a turmoil, the scriptures say he made it for the just to suffer same as the unjust. But he made a way out. He made a way to overcome. He made a way for me to be a survivor. Leaving one crisis, entering another crisis. After 9 years, it's difficult to process and integrate back in society. But here I am. I would like to call Miss Tamika up, and while she gets ready with her notes, could we get the music makers up? I was intending to sing songs in the middle of this, but I didn't want you to lose the path that I was going down. Bags. Bags. Thanks. The bags under my eyes once held a tear. I cried the pain and disgrace. You'll see upon my face. It's all because I was dying, doing time for another man's crime. Cried and I cried from day to day. No one would hear what I say. Tried so hard, tell the truth, until I felt it was no use. It's so hard dying, doing time for another man's crime. Then one day, God spoke to me, said, cry no more. You're going free. It's so hard dying, doing time for another man's crime. It's so hard dying, doing time for another man.